Hello everyone, Dark Souls 2 Part 1. Let's begin. The game starts with an old lady which explains nothing about the plot of this game. In 2 words, she tells us that we will lose everything, our future, our past, even the purpose about why are we even here. Unlike Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3, our main character gives zero damn about saving the world. All he wants is to somehow get rid of Dark Sign and no longer go hollow. Our main character, Summer Harlot in a kingdom named Trang, there is a cure of hollowing, which was the main reason why he came in this kingdom. Yeah, the narrative in this game blows, but to be honest, they will fix it in mid-game. Well, kinda. After a tutorial that absolutely no one does, I arrived in a place named Majula, and without a doubt it's the best hub among all Souls games. Honestly, I don't even know why it's like that. This place is just a small village full of different people who forgot about their purpose in life a long time ago. But I just feel like this is the best Soulsborne hub. After talking to the most caring Farkeeper among all Souls games, she gave me Estus flask and gave me an order to find 4 famous great known names. Despite the fact that in this game there are way more great soul owners than 4. After accepting this task, I went in the forest of the fallen giants, in which I had to kill a bunch of hollows by luring them one by one. And trust me, there will be a lot moments like that in the future. After 30 minutes of running around like a madman and freaking out will available summon, it's finally time to kill the tutorial boss, the last giant. Yeah, sure, the last giant. Despite the fact he looks like a huge cockroach, I think that he has one of the most creepy and memorable cutscenes among all Souls games. The way he's removing his hands from the stone shackles, his scream, his unbearable rage towards us, it all is very cool. But unfortunately, he's a huge joke. In his phase 1, he will try to helplessly stomp you to death. In his phase 2, he will remove his fucking arm and will try to use it as if it's a sword, but after using the almighty R1 spam technique, he got destroyed. After killing him, he will drop Solder Key, but I will not use it right now. Instead, I will go in his Tower of Flame. In my opinion, this location is one of the most beautiful, but at the same time, one of the dumbest location in this game. Not only this location is probably the shortest location among all Souls games, there are only 2 bosses, and they are next to each other: Dragon Slayer and Dragon Rider. I repeat this once again. In this location there are Dragon Slayer and a Dragon Rider, and between them there is a dragon. Like, what? Should I really explain why this is dumb? Despite the fact this is a very short location, this location is a huge pain in the ass. Why? Well, first of all, in this location there are ex-old Iron King's warriors, who are pretty challenging. But most importantly, there are Hade Knights, who, as a reminder, in original Dark Souls 2 were a fucking mini bosses. And not only 1 against 1, they are harder than both bosses in this location combined. Besides 1 dude before Dragon, they all are receiving help from Stone Warriors, which can make this location a huge pain in the ass, plus the dragon himself. If you will play Dark Souls 2 one day, I will give you a friendly advice. Don't even think about killing Dragon Rider before you get rid of this stupid dragon, because if you do that, you will receive something like that. Okay, now about the bosses. First is Dragon Rider. The other one is Dragon Slayer, and yes, he looks exactly like Ornstein, but despite that, he is not Ornstein from Dark Souls 1. He's just a huge fanboy and a cosplayer of original Dragon Slayer. Even though he's just a phase 2 Ornstein with 2 new move, I kinda like this boss, despite the fact he dies very fast with this maze. Now it's time for Pursuer. He's the professional hollow hunter, and trust me, he will justify both of his names. games. I on purpose denied fight against him, because in my opinion he is the hardest non-tutorial boss among all Souls games. For new players he will be extremely challenging boss, and there are many reasons for that. First of all, if you visit him as soon as you kill the last giant, you will be pretty under level for him and you will get wrecked. In the beginning you don't have a good shield with 100% physical damage reduction, and his moveset is pretty random. Sometimes he does 1, 2, or 3 hits in combo, which can be a bit annoying for new players, and of course ADP. And we'll talk about it a bit later. I'll give a small advice for new players. Against him, buy a mace that I like to call anti-night weapon. Not sure if it's true, but as far as I saw, this weapon does insane amount of damage to any enemy with armor, including Pursuer. And trust me, in this game there are more than enough night enemies. Just don't be greedy bastard, hit him once or twice and sooner or later you will kill him. On my first playthrough he absolutely demolished me, but this time I got him on my first try and I was very happy about that. After Pursuer you will have two options. Either interact with this nest and Eagle will drop you in the next location, or you can visit another location named No Man's Wharf. And yeah, sure, No Man's Wharf, sure. Holy shit, the amount of homeless dogs, some dudes, vampires and assassins in this location is just nuts. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Why there are so many of them? Also, if you decide to clear this location slow and steady, you will fail simply because your weapon will break before you kill half of these basic mobs. But on the bright side, if you manage to open this shortcut, you won't have to fight any basic mob towards Flexing Sentry. Now about Flexible Boys. According to his lore, he transported prisoners into the Lost Bastille. One of these prisoners was the Lost Sinner, the owner of one of 4 main Lord Souls. As a boss, he's... No, as the idea, he is without a doubt interesting. This boss, just like 4 Kings, is a DPS check, because if you won't kill this boss fast enough, you will visit SpongeBob. But I honestly have one question. Was there even a single player who managed to drown in this fight? At least one. Most of the time it's either you fucked up and you got wombo comboed, or you kill him way before water level becomes dangerous. Now it's time for a Lost Bastille. As soon as we exit the bonfire, we'll meet our old friend Pursuer, but now as a mini boss, and holy fuck, only in this location you will meet him 4 fucking time, in total 8 time. Like, come on, give me a break. I wish some girls were as loyal as this dude. After trying for a while, I had to fight Ruined Sentinels. In my opinion, they are one of the most interesting multiple boss fights among all Souls games. Despite the fact that you are outnumbered, in the beginning you fight only one dude, and when you kill the first one, second one will jump at you, and you have pretty big amount of time to do high amount of damage to him. And after a while you can immediately jump down on third dude and do insane amount of damage to him. And even when you have to fight 2 against 1, they have just enough attacks with just right speed that allows you to easy dodge both of them. Despite the fact that on my first playthrough they gave me a bit trouble, on this playthrough I killed them on my first try. Before we meet next boss, you will meet our another old friend. No, I am glad that game devs removed demonic mutants from this location, but come on! He was a boss in a previous location, and now he's a basic mob slash mini boss? Like, really? Reusing Pursuer wasn't enough? Now it's time for a Lost Sinner. Many people think that the Lost Sinner is the owner of Lord Soul, but it's not true at all. Liz is the owner of the Lord Soul and the reincarnation of Witch of Eyesight. The dude who we fight is a pyromancer named Aegil. Yeah, you heard it right. I think that this dude is Aegil and not a random woman with a bird. I'll try to explain why I think like that. Let's ask ourselves a very obvious question. Why? There is a human and Izite insect in this cell together? I am pretty sure that they are not a part of each other, like, was this human born with this insect in his eye? I really doubt about that. Therefore, it can be assumed that a guild somehow created or found this insect. Why I think that this dude is a guild and not someone else? Well, let me explain. In Dark Souls 2 lore, a guild is a loyal subordinate of Old Iron King, who probably had a conflict with Ivory King. Yeah, there are no real proofs about that, but Iron King had a conflict both with Wendrick and the Sunken King, so I think that it's safe to assume that he also had a conflict with Ivory King. I think that a guild snuck inside Alien Lois and started to conduct experiments with pyromancy. Why he didn't experiment in Iron Keep? For a very obvious reason. Pyromancy experiments are very dangerous, and he didn't want to experiment in his king's kingdom, so he snuck inside Alien Lois, and after one of his experiments, a chaos erupted in Alien Lois. Well, as far as I know, there are no proofs about how the chaos even started in Alien Lois. After chaos broke free, Egil found this insect, which he wanted to use in order to strengthen his king's army. But soon after that, there was an accident, and after his king's death, he blamed himself and punished himself by putting himself and this insect in jail. Gameplay wise, he's below average at best. If you have a good shield, you can pretty much face tank him. The only difficulty is on New Game Plus, in which you will have to deal with pyromancers, but on a regular new game, he just sucks ass. After him, I went in a location that I like to call Snoop Dogg's Forest. In this location, you can see shit because of a fog and trees. And also, in order to make your life more interesting, game devs added mobs that look like a player's phantoms, and holy shit, how many times I got fucked up because of that, it's not even funny. In order to not get lost in this location, just hug left side of the map and you're good to go. In this location lives a scorpion Nachka, and instead of her, let's talk about more interesting stuff. Level up cost of Dark Souls 2. As you can clearly see, I have Dranglik armor, which is pretty heavy armor, a huge shield, ultra great sword, and I am not fat rolling. The funniest part is that I killed only one Lord Soul owner. Level up in Dark Souls 2 is straight up broken, and because of that, even without grinding, you are over level than most bosses. Yeah, there are exceptions, but still. And in order to somehow slow down players level up, game devs added an amazing feature named ADP. In 2 words, ADP is your invincibility frames. I repeat, in order to get normal rolls, you have to level up ADP. Like, why? Yeah, in order to get normal hitboxes, you have to update ADP at 2025. But still, that sounds very dumb. Why not just fix level up problem, instead of adding a dumb feature that adds nothing good to this game? After here I speedrun Doors of Faron because there is simply nothing to do there. In the end of this location, we will meet Royal Rat Authority, and oh boy, this boss is just so disgusting, both design and boss fight wise. Hey, remember Kafradi, man? A boss who couldn't do anything on his own, but had annoying dogs that would stomach you to death. Yeah, that's him, but even uglier and even more annoying. I honestly think that you just physically can't win this fight if you didn't kill these stupid rat dogs before the boss joins the fight. Without his minions, he's just a joke, but somehow I managed to die against him once. Yes, I am an extremely talented person. Now it's time for Zeldora's Brightstone Cave. According to Dark Souls Wiki, this place is Crystal Cave's remake from Dark Souls 1, aka hometown of Sith. On our way to Freya, you will have to fight a prowling magus and... oh my god. Oy. What the fuck is this boss? Just a random zombies and a priest. But you know what's funny? I somehow managed to die against them once. I honestly don't know how, but I managed. Yeah, I am very talented. If you are arachnophobe, you will love the next arena and the boss. This place is full of armada of big spiders. I honestly have no idea how you can even clear this location without ultra great sword. Like, your weapon will probably break. weak, and you will get easy outnumbered if you don't have a weapon with large horizontal and vertical attacks. Oh yeah, by the way, don't forget to equip Torch, otherwise you'll have to deal with spiders over and over until you kill their mommy. Now let's talk about Freya. She has Sealed Soul, but she's not his reincarnation. Original Sealed Soul belonged to this guy, who just like Seal was a big brain experimentator. He managed to find Stone Dragon, and since he was a Sealed reincarnation, he was obsessed with getting dragon scales. So he decided to put his soul in this dragon's corpse and get immortality this way. But as always, something went wrong, and not only he lost his soul, but also went hollow. After a while, his beloved spider Freya found his soul on the floor and consumed it. After that, she started to mutate. She grew bigger, grew another head on her ass, and just like Seal, she can do laser beam. Freya as a boss is very bad. Just provoke her laser beam, run to the other hand and mash R1 button to win. Oh yeah, by the way, there is one very funny moment with Freya. Not sure if you knew about that, but Freya's soul is not shown as a great one. Does that mean something? Well, we'll talk about Lord Souls in my next video. But before that, let's visit Huntman's corpse. Since I was pretty strong, I decided to run forward, because there is almost nothing to do in this location. Now it's time to beat some old bones. Since I was overfed, I could one-shot all of them, but when you kill them, they will summon an army of small skeletons. Holy shit, imagine if these skeletons were from Dark Souls 1 and especially from Dark Souls 3. Oh my god, what a nightmare this boss fight would be. After this abomination of a fight, let's see how it is, I went in Harvest Valley. The amount of different stones you can get in this location is just nuts. It's the best place to farm weapon update materials. After grinding for a while and taking every possible loot, I went to beat the next boss and... what a pathetic view. Just a huge fat fucking worm. Even though as a boss he is ultra boring and pathetic, he has pretty funny lore. Basically he was a normal dude who was in love with Mirtha. Since she was obsessed with beauty, he wanted to seduce her with his sexy body, and instead of going into gym and working out, he decided to seduce her American way, aka he became KFC speedrunner. After eating everything he could reach, he mutated into this giant worm. Yeah, his lore is nearly controlled control way of gaping dragon, but hey, at least it's funny. Before you fight Mirtha, light your torch and then burn this wheel. Or against Mirtha you will suffer a lot. Mirtha is the current wife of old Iron King. She was kinda mad that King didn't give a damn about her, so she became complex lady. In land she became extremely obsessed with beauty. After a lot of plastic surgery and poison, she became Medusa. As a boss, she is, well, average Wukong boss, I would say. Nothing particularly bad, but also nothing special about her, just After one of the dumbest moments in a fiction, it's time for Iron Keep. Iron Keep is one of the most annoying and hard locations in this game. First of all, a burn from lava. Secondly, weeb alone knights, who not only are pretty strong on their own, they also are getting help from archers, who clearly were trained by Anolondo archers. And finally, there are just so many of them. In order to not receive backshots 24/7, and if you want to reach Smelter Demon easy way, you should jump on the right side of the bridge, otherwise you'll have to fight these weebs over and over. Since both Smelter Demon and Iron King are connected in lore, I will also connect these two. Now it's time for a big amount of lore. Before Iron Keep, there were two kingdoms, Alken and Ven. Prince of Alken was young Iron King, and Ven's princess identity is unknown, but I'll talk about it in other video a bit more in details. Young Iron King was a weak ruler, and also he was very powerless, but one day he met Sir Alon, with whom he soon became very close friend. Sir Alon changed his army from Iron Golems into Alon Knights, whom he trained personally. Together they managed to conquer both Alken and Ven. Soon after that they founded Iron Keep. After that grow, Iron King started terrorizing other kingdoms almost non-stop. Sir Alon was very disappointed with his old friend and master, because he saw that he became a power-hungry tyrant, and instead of, well, you know, stopping him once and for all, he decided to cosplay my dad. After a short amount of time, Iron King found Sir Alon and killed him. He didn't want to completely lose a powerful warrior, and he tried to revive him with the help of Aegil's magic. Gil created Smelter Demon's body, and after binding Sir Alon's soul, Smelter Demon's body, and Bug's power, they managed to revive him. He was supposed to be under control, but something went wrong and Sir Alon, who now is a mindless golem, killed Old Iron King with a single swing. Gil blamed himself for his accident and imprisoned himself after that. As a boss, Smelter Demon is pretty challenging, not gonna lie. In his phase 1 he's just a regular big robot, but after Seppuku a real fun begins. He will take reduced amount of damage and will enchant his sword will fire, so a 100% physical damage reduction shield won't save your ass from his sword. Plus, as a bonus, when you are next to him, you will take a small amount of burn damage. Unlike phase 1 in which he was pretty passive, in phase 2 he will become a bit more aggressive, I would say. But as long as you won't lose your vigilance or won't fall asleep in mid-fight, you will win this fight. After him it's time for Iron King. After Smelter Demon killed him, Iron King somehow revived himself, and now we have to fight him. What can I say about him? Well, yikes. He has a very cool lore and story, but as a boss, he is just so bad, it's not even funny. On his own, he can do anything. After every hit, he has a huge recovery time, and after nearly all of his hits, you can hit his hands until he dies. Oh yeah, by the way, many people say that he is a Queen's reincarnation, but that's 100% bullshit. He is a 4 Kings reincarnation. I have a full video about it. If you want, you can check it. I want to end this video before visiting Drangli Castle, but since it's already a big video, I will stop here. Type what you think about my video or if you like it. With this, I'll say bye bye to you and I'll see you next time.